Happens, you are watching Total Crypto's court proceedings, and today we have with us Mr. March, who is the Director Communication for Standard Protocol. He will be responding to the queries of public prosecutor, and the jury in today's case would be you. That's our audience. Let's begin. Marcha, welcome to the Total Crypto's court proceedings. How are you today?
I'm good, man. In Beijing right now. It is around 6 p.m. Just had myself a nice sandwich and looking forward to interacting with your community and talking more about Standard. It's a great time to be alive in crypto. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So, March, like you guys, the complete leadership of Standard Protocol has been in the crypto space for quite some time, for quite long. So what are the changes you have seen evolving in the market over the last 3 or 4 years?
Number one, of course, has to be the 2017 bull market, which, you know, that was when Ethereum first came to play. And I think that's when the market really started to see the potential that smart contracts can offer. Of course, I think capital formation was a little too fast in the beginning with ICOs, right? And then they just quickly collapsed and, right, we entered this 2-3 year bear market. But obviously, you know, markets mature, they evolve, and people have become much more creative with tokens, right? And we have managed to figure out ways to basically create our entire own on-chain bank. So that has by far been the greatest development. So for me, right, there's a word for this. It's called DeFi. And I just think it's basically the evolved iteration of smart contracts that I've seen in the last 4 years.
Right. So you have been involved in stablecoins. What do you think they are so important for the world of blockchain and cryptocurrencies?
I basically think, so basically blockchain in my mind is just an entirely new form of digital coordination, right? Internet is a form of communication and coordination, but of course, the argument is made that it's very centralized. Blockchains at least give another opportunity to have a form of decentralized coordination. And the best part about this new crypto economy, right, is that we are able to create our own form of value to validate what this economy means and entails. In this case, it comes in the forms of tokens. And right, underlying tokens is smart contracts. And like I said, the last 4 years, the crypto economy has developed because of blockchain iterations and development in digital smart contracts.
Right. So what about the stable coins? How important they are in the market, in the overall crypto game?
They're super important. I mean, before stablecoins, you guys might all remember, we were using Bitcoins to trade, right? And the volatility on that is just simply unacceptable. So it's great to see how much stablecoins have evolved. And not only, so of course, there's definitely legality issues of stablecoins, but there's just not one stablecoin choice out there. So it's no longer just USDT. We have USDC, you know, we have minted DAI. And now, you know, I think there's a new game where all these stablecoins are trying to become both advanced in its smart contract format, but also more legally compliant. And, you know, for us with Standard, we see that as an advancement of maybe first generation of perhaps technical and algo based stablecoins.
Right. So now let's jump to the questions related to Standard Protocol. So tell me something, what are the gaps you saw in the market and what are the issues you plan to address with the launch of Standard Protocol?
For gas, so of course, right, ERC-20s. Why? So Standard, I want to reiterate, is the first Web 3.0 grant that has been received in Korea, right? And essentially, that means we're trying to build first on the Polkadot ecosystem. So we will first issue the token standards under a parachain framework, which will tend to minimize gas in the very beginning. I believe, so we will be doing, so the end game of Standard is to be interoperable with multiple chains, right? We will obviously know, we still believe Ethereum has the highest level of network effect, but of course we also see the gas fees are a little too high right now, but we're very excited for EIP 1559. But before that, right, our IDO is 4-27, so in just a week. And we need to make sure that we are operating on chains, right? For example, parachains or BSC with Binance that have lower gas fees. So we're currently implementing the systems to do that for lower gas fees for both our whitelisted users and everything.
Right, quite interesting. Tell me something like standard protocol is loaded with features like it has got multiple tokens, support for various smart contracts, and so on. So, how much confident you are that all these elements will work in sync whenever you launch the complete project?
We are very confident. So, at least why I stepped onto this project was I saw a lot of potential in our technical team in Seoul. So Hyun-Suk Kang, to give some reference, he's the CTO and CEO. He's leading the tech vision. He was on the inner team of Terra, and now he's currently one of the full-time leaders at Plasm, which is a very well-integrated project with Polkadot. But Standard is his side baby, and he just basically is implementing formats of governance tokens that he learned from Terra, stablecoin usages that he's seeing in other ecosystems within crypto, and forming that all into one with Standard. So that's his vision, and that's why I think we are unique in having this 3-token system, because we're trying to build the own standard economy, and we see utility in all 3 types of tokens.
So since you mentioned about your CEO, let me ask about the team also. So the team of Standard Protocol, do you guys sleep, eat, drink only crypto, or you enjoy the life also?
I would say we live, breathe, and drink crypto full time. Colin, our CEO, does not sleep. He just works and works. And you can check out his GitHub. There's a lot of activity. But I think you'll be more excited once you see our IDO and all the token utility and data that's going on.
So what's the latest update on the Standard Protocol? How's the project going, shaping up?
Oh, you mean technically or IDO wise?
Both, technically as well as IDO. Both IDO as well as technical wise. How's the progress going on?
Got it. So on the investment side, our private round is completely oversubscribed. It's been raised. We raised, I believe, $2.5 million US at a $25 million FDV valuation, which PokerStarter, our IDO platform, was very happy with our token economics, and we are scheduled for firm 4-27 release date. We're currently in a full-on whitelist process. More details can be found on our Twitter. So there's that. For more references on our technical developments, we have a roadmap available on our site. But one of the main things like I mentioned, we're looking to do now is to basically issue the token with both to be moduled with both BSC and the parachain with Polkadot to address the gas fees, because we don't want users spending like tens of dollars or maybe hundreds on just trying to catch our IDO the 27th. So we understand that.
Yeah, that's a very important development. Also, if we continue our discussion about the stable coins, partnership with exchanges is quite important. And what are you doing in that respect?
We cannot fully disclose our entire working relations with exchanges, but just know we have developments and we're working. We're back channeling and we're working with any possible lines of inquiry. So as mentioned, there's definitely going to be liquidity for us, maybe perhaps with some exchanges you'll definitely recognize. But until then, we can't disclose too much. And all the information, when exchanges give us the ready to say we can announce, we'll post it on our Twitter, our Medium, our Discord, Telegram, all of that, for sure.
Right. Finally, March, last question for you is, why should an investor or the general public in general be interested in Standard Protocol? What's the assurance that you would like to give to them?
From a business development standpoint, right, I have to admit, because we're a Korean project, we do have that localized Korean community support. And obviously a Korean localized community support has those perhaps exchange relations, right? And we kind of know how to generate liquidity and community interest in that. We're also working on that in China. But on a technical side, I think we offer a second generation of stablecoin usage. But of course, it's a 3-token system, right? Investors in IDO are going to be buying the governance token. But our stablecoin, right, is basically a second iteration of whatever you saw with Ampliford, ESD. Those basically just had that, rebase mechanism. Actually, doesn't mean it has any real peg behind it. And of course, right, why we're a 3-token module system is that our reader token utilizes over-collateralization factors associated with MakerDAO, right? And those collateral factors in those vaults, in turn, make sure that there is some level of real value behind the stablecoin, even though it's algo-based. So that might have been a mouthful in terms of technicals, but that is an advantage we offer in our system.
Right. Thanks, March. It was lovely talking to you. And now we will rest our case over here and let the jury, that's our audience, decide the fate of your court hearing. Thank you very much, March.